Madam Mayor.
Okie dokie. What's going on, everybody? No, I'm not excited. All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order, this August 5th meeting to order. We always start with a pledge to the flag. And Wish Weinstein, the president of the Manhattan Beach Unified School District, you could do it from your seat. Could you stand and lead us? She's
Stand. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Wish. Ms. Weinstein.
City pin?
Oh, city pin. Yes, we'll get you a city pin.
You'll treasure it, we know.
Thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Franklin.
Present.
Councilmember Tarnay is absent. Councilmember Sherillian.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Lesser.
Here.
Mayor Howorth.
Here. Okay, we don't have any items on the ceremonial calendar. Don't worry, we know there's a ceremony happening, but it's not part of the ceremonial calendar. If I could get an approval of the agenda. It's been approved by Councilmember Sherillian, seconded by Councilmember Franklin.
Motion passes 4-0-1.
Phew. Okay. At this time, it's time for City Council and Community Organization announcements of upcoming events, 1 minute per person. If you're new to this, this is not where you come up and talk about the problem you're having with your neighbor. You get 3 minutes to do that later on. So any upcoming events you want to tell us about, Mr. Bell?
Honorable Mayor, City Council members, City officials, Bobby Bell, WM Recycling Educator and Outreach for the City of Manhattan Beach. Just wanted to give you an update. We ran our third paper shred this past Saturday. We were able to collect 6.15 tons of documents to be safely and securely shredded and recycled. And we have our next one coming up. Last one of the year will be held on October 18th. That's all I got. Wishing you guys all God's blessings. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Chief Johnson.
All right, well, good evening, Mayor Howorth, members of the council, Rachel Johnson, your police chief, and I'm here to invite the community to our next community event, which is Cones with a Cop. On a hot day like today, it seems nice to think about getting an ice cream cone on August 13th between 3 and 5 at Handel's. And anyone who comes by will not only get to meet police department employees and ask any questions they wish to ask of us, they'll also get a free scoop of ice cream. My preference is chocolate, but I'm not here to judge anyone else's preference. So please join us on August 13th between 3 and 5 at Handel's in the mall. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Don Rowe. I'm the West Regional Administrator for LA County Library, and I'm here to introduce Cassandra Sargent. She is the new Manhattan Beach Library Manager. I'll give a very brief background on her. Cassandra comes to us from Orange County, where she was the branch manager for the Los Alamitos Rossmore Library in Seal Beach. While there, she oversaw the operations, worked with the Friends of the Library, and fulfilled community needs through the planning and conducting of a variety of outreach and special interest programs serving the community. And I'll leave it to Cassandra if she'd like to say something.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hello, nice to meet all of you. So I figured while I'm here, I should plug a couple of our upcoming programs at my new branch. So this Thursday, we have our Summer Discovery Wrap-Up Party from 11 to 12. It's where people can bring in their summer reading ticket and get prizes, get frozen treats, have a raffle, stay for games. It's all ages. We still are going to be accepting their summer discovery papers through the end of the week, so please stop by. We're also having an Anime Your Way program on August 14th, 3 to 4. It's a step-by-step anime drawing program for ages 10 to 18, and you can register online. And we have a cello performance the end of the month, Saturday, August 30th from 2 to 3 with Chelsea Wong. I also had her at the Los Alamitos branch, and she's wonderful, so I highly recommend you stopping by for that as well. Otherwise, that's it. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
As long as I'm here, I'll plug some of our Beach Cities activities as well. Jane Deal, Beach Cities board member. So Power of Purpose workshop and Social Connection Fair, which is August 16th from 1:30 to 3:30. And that's at the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living, 907 Nob Hill. And it will be led by Manhattan Beach resident Kathleen Terry. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Any other community announcements? Okay. Now we move on to public comments. That's 3 minutes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. See, you.
She's already moving on.
I have. I've moved on. It's not my job. No. Are there any public announcements over Zoom?
No request on Zoom.
Thank you, but thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Okay, moving on to public comment. That's 3 minutes per minute, or per minute, per speaker. Come on down.
Honorable Mayor Howorth, thank you so much for your service. And incoming Mayor, congratulations. We're delighted about that. I'm Martha Andriani, President of the Manhattan Beach Historical Society, here to request your approval to consent calendar item number 5 this evening. The Historical Society is very much in need of a new trailer to replace the one that's there. Some might say, hey, there's already a trailer there. Well, it's extremely dysfunctional. It's not appropriate for housing some of our historical goods. We've already moved a lot of the artifacts to another location. It went to Metlock's storage facility for a while where it got wet, dripped on from a leak there, and then some items were moved over to Marine Avenue Park. But please approve this climate-controlled trailer that is, we need it badly to preserve and protect our historical collection. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Groundhog Day.
I know, right? Good evening once again. And probably for the last time I'll get to greet you as Mayor Howorth this time around. Rachel Johnson, your police chief, here to provide a number of updates from the police department. The first thing I'd like to do is talk about our DUI checkpoint, which was held on Friday, July 18th. And I don't know if we want DUI checkpoints to be successful, but this one was. Not only was it successful in that we had a lot of engagement prior to it and advertising into the community, like we're required to per state law, but also we had almost 1,000 vehicles come through the checkpoint, which is great. We made 5 DUI arrests, 1 DUI probation arrest, and we issued 7 citations for unlicensed drivers. And so while it would certainly be great to not have to arrest anyone for DUI through the checkpoint, the point of the checkpoint is really education and visibility, we did make a number of arrests and kept our community safe. We wouldn't have been able to do our DUI checkpoint without assistance from a number of neighboring agencies, including Hawthorne, Inglewood, Hermosa Beach, and a number of other neighboring agencies. It takes a lot of people to make the choo-choo go for a checkpoint just because it's very labor intensive, and we're just very grateful to the support of our regional partners on the checkpoint. The next thing I'd like to talk about is bicycle citations. It's summer, everyone's riding their bikes, myself included. I always imagine myself this time of year after I watch the Tour de France and then the Tour de France Femmes. I always imagine that I can climb up Mount Ventoux myself, but that's not really true. I can barely get up one of the walk streets. But I want to talk about bicycle citations and bicycle safety. This year through June 30th, we've issued about 93 citations to bicyclists for various violations in the city. We've also done a number of other verbal warnings, and we've also seen a reduction in unsafe riding. And I'll note here that while often we think about the packs of children who ride their e-bikes, there are also a number of adults that receive citations as well for operating in an unsafe manner. And finally, I would just like to take this time while I have your attention just to remind the community that we are here to serve you, and there is no call too small for the Manhattan Beach Police Department. And so please call us. If it's a life safety emergency, always call 911. It's easy to remember. But if it's not something, a crime that is in progress, please call our non-emergency number. And each member of the council, before this meeting, I put a little keychain at your position that has both our logo and the non-emergency number. It's a very nice keychain that one I would actually be happy to carry and find myself to be somewhat fashionable. Just to remind you to call us if you have any issues that the police department can help you with. There are also a number of these keychains outside on the table near the council agendas for the public. And if you need more keychains, please contact my office and we are happy to provide them for you. But certainly calling us is the fastest way to solve any problems that you might have that are within the purview of the police department. And we just ask that you don't hesitate to do that. I've heard from members of the community before that they don't want to bother us or they know we have more important things to do. The things that are important to our community are important to your police department, so please don't hesitate to call us. Calling the police department directly and providing an eyewitness account of what you are observing actually gives the police legal standing to contact those persons and is very helpful, especially when we have to use force. So I ask again, don't call a friend, call the police department, pick up a keychain. If you don't want a keychain because you have too many because you collect them, we're also on the Reach Manhattan Beach app on the first page. There's a link, you push that, it'll call our non-emergency number as well. You can also use the Reach Manhattan Beach app for a number of things that fall in our purview, which is reporting graffiti, homeless outreach, coyote sightings, any construction issues or parking meter issues. You can use the Reach Manhattan Beach app for that. And finally, I'll close with, if you have a traffic problem in your area and you'd like our attention, if you go to the police department's portion of the website to the traffic section, you can contact your area traffic officer. Their emails are included on that webpage along with their supervisors. You email them and they'll be happy to put your traffic concern on their list for enforcement. So please, again, do not hesitate to contact your police department, whether it's a traffic problem, a crime in progress, or a non-emergency crime. Please don't hesitate to contact us, and please pick up a keychain if you'd like. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Chief, Madam Mayor?
Please.
Could I ask a question, please?
Please.
If we can go back to the slide from the DUI checkpoint. First of all, thank you so much for doing this. I mean, imagine that, 5 people arrested for driving under the influence on our streets at that particular time. And what was the time period?
We started about 8 o'clock and went till about 2 a.m.
And 2 a.m., okay. And just to take those dangerous people off the street is just really amazing, especially in light of what we've witnessed over the last 6 months or so. And I know it's a big operation, but is there any chance to do like a mini DUI to maybe something we can handle on ourselves so we can do it more frequently? Because it's about every couple of years, right? Don't we do this?
We usually do once a year in conjunction with our Office of Traffic Safety grant that the council graciously approves for us to receive those funds every October. We're required to do at least one checkpoint a year here in the city, which we do. We also participate in neighboring agencies' checkpoints, like Hermosa Beach just recently had one as well, and we participated in their checkpoints. Unfortunately, the state mandates that regulate checkpoints require a lot of things, including a traffic plan, a lot of reports that have to be written just to say how many people you had, at what interval you stopped cars. You can't stop every car, and you can't stop cars randomly. You have to have a formula, if you will, every 5th car, every 2nd car. They have to be widely advertised to the public. And so there's a number of things that go into a checkpoint. But what we are doing, and what we have been doing throughout this entire year, Councilmember Franklin, is we're doing DUI saturation patrols, which is where we have officers on the weekends who their sole job is to look for impaired drivers. And they write tickets to people who are just driving poorly because, believe me, some people just are bad drivers. And so they will write tickets to people who are driving poorly as well as make arrests for DUIs. We have several officers who really have a passion for this work, and they work quite a bit in arresting DUI drivers. And so while we can't do a checkpoint as often just because it's incredibly labor intensive to do it the way the law regulates us to do so, we have been doing saturation patrols throughout the summer, and we will continue to do so.
Excellent. Well, thank you all very much to our wonderful police department and the leaders, so thank you.
Yep.
Other public comments?
Hello. My name is Adam Hedman, and greetings to the mayor, incoming mayor, and city council members. I'd like to speak about the agenda on the park pads, the easements, and the dune section. I've lived here for 17 years. 15 of those have been at my current residency. The community is not only my family, but my home. This agenda is going to derail our lives and my life and others. Routines, assurances, accessibility, and security. It brings further concerns, property damage. My property has been struck 3 times in the last 5 years by non-tenant cars. Potential theft, loitering, potential ADA issues, accessibility to residents and elderlies who rely on off-street parking. Parking is an issue, but I can't see how this aggressive agenda benefits the city and the community. Public stamps give more thought to those outside the community than those who are living in it. We are taxpaying residents that contribute daily to local establishments, restaurants, businesses, city events, and overall Manhattan Beach economy. I feel the agenda has been made in haste. Though it's not as beautiful as a garden or yard, these easements serve as a functional purpose to provide residents with off-street parking and not congesting the city's street parking. On Tuesday, July 15th, the City Council issued the pause on the stamping of public parking on the pads and easements until the community had a chance to voice their thoughts and concerns. On Thursday, July 17th, my residency was stamped public parking, violating the due process and making this residency vulnerable until they could be painted over. I had a 4-day window in the experience and the reality of what was to come, a peek into the future, and it didn't look good. Working from home, I know what regulars use these pads. Usually it's line cooks and servers in local restaurants. In those 4 days, I saw 8 cars I did not recognize that parked there. Within the current ADU tenants, call us baseline users, and the 8 additional users, there is a 266.67% increase in parking overflow. Based on that small case study that I was able to live through, I feel that my security and assurance from parking 2 feet away from my front door will diminish exponentially. This will disrupt our way of life, affecting the lower and upper middle class, as well as the wealthy, forcing people to move due to no sense of security and assurance, and it'll be hard for landowners to justify rent rates with no parking, then resulting in higher lease turnovers, being forced to sell their property or even tear down and rebuild, leaning towards middle-class gentrification, while the wealthy can sit and battle it out in court and maybe get a better result. With multi-story housing developments being built around the city, wouldn't it make the most sense to preserve what we have here, keeping the community secure and together? Let's rethink this and get a win for all. And state residential and ADU parking permits to the community. This, in turn, the community gets, or the city gets income while keeping their pads and easements while maintaining the fabric of the community. I urge the city council members to reconsider this agenda and to please find a more balanced solution so everybody wins.
Thank you. We have your comments here, too. Okay. Other public comments? Okay.
Yes, Ray Joseph. Last week, I went over to visit my dad. He's getting up there in age and health issues and whatnot, and I brought my nephew over there. And we both tried to make phone calls. And this is over the tree section. Both of us had no coverage. What if we needed to make an emergency call and we didn't have coverage? We need to be more proactive on improving cell reception down here. I don't know one carrier that has good coverage across the entire city. And it's a matter of public safety. You know, if we need to get a hold of our kids, where are you? What are you doing? You know, if we need to make an emergency call. The number one call to 911 comes from a cell phone. So we need to make sure that we've got good cell coverage in town. So if we can be more proactive with the companies to upgrade their systems so we've got good coverage. You know, because I really don't want to be in a situation going over visiting my dad and can't get a hold of anybody, and that would be very heartbreaking. So I'd like to see that that change. And then on a different topic, a few weeks ago we had a big power outage in South Manhattan, and both my refrigerator and dishwasher broke the same day. So it would be great to be able to upgrade our electrical underground, do something so that we don't get these power outages, because, you know, it's not fun to replace appliances at these things, so that would be great. So I wanted to thank you very much, and thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Okay. Any other public comments in chambers?
Madam Mayor, I wanted to make a comment, just
Sure.
prolong your
No,
term.
yeah,
Um,
denied.
You know, I appreciate Martha Andriani coming up and talking about item number 5, and I think, you know, obviously it's really important for long-term preservation of our historical documents, and I see former Mayor Napolitano here. I know it's near and dear to his heart as well. Just wanted to maybe the city manager could, or if there's any plans for a deeper dive into our preservation of our historical documents.
So is this a time now in the public comments, or do you want to pull the item and ask about it during the agenda item?
I
Go
don't want
ahead.
to prolong it, I mean.
Okay. Sure, she can answer the question now.
Actually, I was going to ask if Director Lehman could come down to help answer the question. Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening. Excuse me. So regarding the, the trailer, the storage, wow.
Water?
The storage materials, I think, for the library needs assessment, once that is completed and we're looking at long-term solutions for what potentially could be stored in that area, then I think we'll take a longer look at that. This is a temporary use. In addition to that, with HAI, we are working with them on preserving all the digital collection as well.
Great, thank you. I just wanted to make sure we're continually looking for opportunities for longevity on these very important documents.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any more public comments on anything on or not on the agenda in chambers? If not, can I go to Zoom? Are there any public comments on Zoom?
Yes, we have Kristen.
Good evening, Council. This is Kristen Longer. I'm the Vice President of the Manhattan Beach Historical Society. I'm sorry I'm not there today. I happened to catch COVID at our lovely 6-man, so I'm home. But I wanted to express my support and ask you for your support for item number 5. And thank you, Councilmember Shirley, for bringing that up. This is a big deal, and I know we've been working on this with Parks and Recreation, with Director Lehman, and with Eric Brinkman in the Cultural Arts Department. Guys, we need to do something, and this trailer is just the first step. We are so eager to get your assistance in helping to continue to preserve our documents, our photographs, and the community outreach. So this is just one step, and I'm hoping that we can continue just to preserve our city's history. So please support that. Thank you.
Any more public comments?
There's no additional requests.
Okay, so no other public comments at this time. Okay. Let me just see, where are we going now? Oh, look at this. Oh, I'm excited. All right, we are now going to move into the reorganization, of which you will preside over, Mayor Pro Tem, for a few more moments.
I guess. Don't we put you in the spotlight up
please.
here?
Please, let's do. Okay. Okay.
Can you hear me? So this is the reorganization of our city council in terms of its mayoralship, and it's an opportunity for all of us to honor our outgoing mayor, Amy Howorth. I have the privilege to start first and to give you your own council gavel as a start.
It's so small.
But also to make
And not pink, but mighty.
That right there is what I wanted to start with. The joy of public service is represented by you, Mayor Howorth. You have made our council sessions joyful, even when the subject matter was not always easy. You invited the public to participate. You had serious conversations with all of us, and you just reminded us of what our community is all about. the ceremonial items that you included, including our community. I'm grateful to serve with you and have you as a friend. So you have your plaque, but wait a minute, there might be one more thing. Mayor, you often referred to the experience.
From the Apple Store.
Some things can be deceiving. You often referred to how others have served in this position before. So I was trying to think of something elegant, classy, shall we say, just for you. So here's a little token.
Oh, dear. Well, it's from the Apple Store, and there's pink paper. Oh, it's from the Apple Store, and there's pink paper. It's a trophy. I almost said it.
So you get to read it.
It's my very own. Congratulations, Mayor Howorth, on your third rodeo. I love this. Thank you.
The context is that Mayor Howorth has congratulated her predecessors who've served before and often referred to it as their not being their first rodeo. So with that, I'd like to turn the microphone over to Councilmember Franklin.
Great. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Madam Mayor, for terrific service. You know, my first time on council was 2020. And I'd gone to council meetings and saw the rotation, but never really lived through it. And it really does help to literally be at your side, you know, when we're going through things. You and David and, you know, Steve Napolitano and Richard Montgomery, you know, all experienced and through not just the procedures here, but all sorts of things that can happen in a city and in life. So I just want to tell you that I appreciate your aplomb, you know, with handling it. My greatest tribute to you is to actually go out and get, you know, a pink shirt and a pink tie. And I don't see the lovely Mrs. Franklin here yet, but you got to give her credit too, because I would.
always do.
I won't. Yeah. I wouldn't know, you know, how to do it. So I just want to thank you. We've gotten closer. It's been a privilege to serve with you, and I think I get to give you the commendation from our city. So,
No, this is fine.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at that.
yeah, I reached for the state one, but you know, I wouldn't be there. So this is from the City of Manhattan Beach, a certificate of commendation to our colleague, Mayor Amy Thomas Howorth, who served as mayor from October 15, 2024 to August 5th. You want me to read it? Yeah, we've heard it before because it's not your first rodeo.
There you go.
Great. Well, giddy up and hee-haw.
The one he was going for was the California Department of Insurance, which is it?
You can never have enough insurance.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, next up is Councilmember Sharulian.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Save the best or newest for last. And Madam Mayor, congratulations on serving 3 terms as mayor for the city of Manhattan Beach and our community. Your leadership over the past 9 months, actually 18 meetings, you know I'm a numbers guy, I got to get it exact. You truly stood out. I'm in a unique position as the only one up here that's observed your work from both sides of the dais.
Poor thing.
And I can honestly say that I've learned something different every meeting. You served your term as mayor with distinction and purpose. Your dedication and work ethic have made a real and lasting impact on our community. We began the year facing the heartbreaking wildfires of the Palisades and surrounding communities. And your response was with compassion and hands-on. You welcomed displaced families with open arms, even going as far to create welcome baskets, a gesture that speaks volumes about your character. I'm not sure if you've heard the slang term slay.
have I heard.
Which means you're doing something exceptionally well. And honestly, you've slayed every council meeting as mayor. And thank you for your service to the community.
Oh, that's very nice. I've seen these. I wanted one of these. Play all day.
Thank you. That's great.
Nina can't be here.
So next up, are there any dignitaries in the audience that would like to recognize? No? On my next? Oh, there's the video. But wait, there is a video. Let me let Councilmember Tarnay
My
speak.
name is Nina Tarnay, fellow council person for the city of Manhattan Beach. I'm so sorry I can't be there live tonight for this momentous occasion, but I just wanted to take a few minutes to thank our outgoing mayor, Amy Howorth, for her service and dedication to our community. In the months that I've been on council, Amy has brought us together even when the issues were tough and helped guide this council in a way that prioritizes our residents and our community over politics, to help us find solutions instead of division. Her ability to listen, bridge differences, and to keep our work grounded in what's best for our community has been truly inspiring. She's shown me, and really all of us, what thoughtful, principled leadership looks like. And even in moments of challenge, she's modeled strength, empathy, and integrity. Thank you, Amy, for the way you've led this council. Thank you for showing me what it means to serve with purpose, grace, and heart. Your steady hand will be hard to follow, but I'm confident that David Lesser will grab your pink gavel and wield it with equal determination and integrity.
That was great.
That's really wonderful.
Now I'll ask, are there any dignitaries in the audience that are here to recognize outgoing Mayor Amy Howorth?
Good evening, council members. It's nice to see you again. Jane Deal, Beach Cities Health District. There's been mention of Amy and her work as a service leader for this council, but she also began her career as a board member for the students and parents of this community. So she has served in many different ways, and you're very lucky to have her. So the Health District has a certificate of appreciation to present to Amy Thomas Howorth. It enhanced individual and community health through a broad range of innovative health programs, services, and collaborative partnerships with local organizations, municipalities, elected officials, including Amy Howorth. And whereas Amy Howorth has dedicated her time, energy, and civic service to partnering with Beach Cities Health District through her active participation in a range of community efforts and programs, including the role of Manhattan Beach Mayor, and whereas Amy Thomas Howorth, dedicated to serving Manhattan Beach and its residents, will be long remembered by citizens, officials, and employees throughout the Beach Cities. Now therefore be it proclaimed, Beach Cities Health District Board of Directors, on behalf of the entire organization, thereby issue the proclamation to Amy Thomas Howorth in recognition of her contributions to serving its residents, as well as demonstrating commitment to helping create a healthy beach community. So thank you. Just also a little aside, because I know some people are often interested in our youth mental health center, which is called Alcove. We now have enrolled 1,558 young people in the service stream. We've seen 13,048 visits from young people.
Wow.
And to let you know, Manhattan Beach community is served by about 14% of those come from Manhattan Beach.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
So other dignitaries, you're welcome to come to the front or speak at the podium. Please.
Normally we go this way.
Please, come on up.
No, it's all good.
Thank you, Councilmember Lesser. Mayor Howorth, on behalf of Supervisor Mitchell, I'm happy to be here to congratulate you today. I represent 4 cities, technically 5 if you count part of LA and Marina Del Rey. In all of the representation I do for the 2nd District of LA County, that's, I think, 25 council seats, I have 4 women.
That's not enough.
Not enough. So that's exactly my point. So I thank you for your representation and in owning being a woman with the pink. I wore my pink sweater for you today. I think you might be the only person in public service I've met that can meet my perky and quirky. Wow. So I personally enjoy working with you. She cheered me on when I was hula dancing at the Splash 2025 event for the Roundhouse Aquarium. She sent me a video, and I was like, that's my girl. That's why I love her. But all that to say, as fun with the pink and quirky as you are smart, and you're quick as a whip, and you work hard for the city of Manhattan Beach. So on behalf of Supervisor Holly Mitchell, I congratulate you for your 3rd term as mayor. Also shout out Manhattan Beach PD, Chief Johnson, for National Night Out today. So just slide that in there real too. Awesome. You're welcome. Take a photo really quick.
Yeah, they're hand painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do.
The States actually might beat me today.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jesselyn. Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. Please.
Okay.
Hello, Mayor Howorth. First off, hello, everyone. My name is Edward Feeves. I'm a district representative for State Senator Ben Allen. Our office is right up the road in El Segundo. Should you ever need anything, please feel free to give us a call. Unlike my colleagues, I didn't get the memo and really should have worn my pink shirt today. I do have one specifically for events like this. Happened to forget today. But not to be outdone, and this is something that Jesselyn did allude to, there's a bit of a competition internally with the local government as to who can provide the most stylish proclamation, the most stylish reso, and usually the county has the state beat. But this time, I think we went a little bit above and beyond, and we got a whole big framed reso to celebrate your 3rd term as mayor.
That's fantastic.
I'm not going to read it because it's quite the lengthy proclamation, but
That's great. I think you
stay. I really want to congratulate you on completing your 3rd term. I know it's not your first rodeo, it's not your second rodeo, but it is your 3rd. And try as you might to get out of the position. They always find a way to keep bringing you back in. So maybe the 3rd time's the charm. I don't know. We'll see. On a personal note, it has been a pleasure to work with you over the last year or so. It has been phenomenal to see the energy and the approachability and the availability that you exude, that's the word I'm looking for, through everything that you do in public service. It's been a pleasure to spend time at the NBCC luncheons with you and so much more. And when I spoke to Senator Allen and said, hey, Mayor Howorth is rotating out, he said, oh man, there's so much that I would want to say to her. But first and foremost, he wanted to thank you for your incredible public service and thank you for everything that you've done for the city of Manhattan Beach. You've been an incredible friend to him and to me, and so we really appreciate it. You've got some big shoes to fill.
And I do want to thank Senator Allen and his whole office, and I'll make in my remarks later how, especially this year more than ever, partnering with us, trying to solve some problems that are not ours alone, and really appreciate that. So. Pictures, where are we over here? Oh, wait. Oh, a real camera. Yeah, great. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah. All right.
I see Hermosa Beach Mayor Rob Seaman. I'm so glad you're here.
Okay. All right, Rob. Hi.
Thank you.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Here.
Are you having fun?
I am.
Yeah? Good. It's always a pleasure to come to this side of the border and visit Manhattan Beach. I love all you people. You're so nice to each other here. I always wondered, do you give them gift cards or something to be like that?
No bribe.
No, of course not. I'm only joking. I want to say congratulations. And on behalf of my colleagues in Hermosa Beach, want to thank you for your service and congratulations on your successful mayorship. And to Mr. Lesser, David, congratulations on becoming mayor. Looking forward to that, and hopefully we can work together on some things in the future. Thank you so much for both of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Oh, yeah, please.
Sure. David, you come in too, since it's ingoing, outgoing, two birds, one stone sort of thing. Can you see the braces? Okay.
Thank you, Amy.
Please, come on.
All right. I know. Someone got the pink memo. I will say I was kind of shocked walking into this council chamber, and I was like, am I in the right place? Because I was expecting all pink, but Honorable Mayor Howorth, thank you so much for an incredible year of leadership. And I'm bringing up the color pink. We all keep bringing it up because it is a power color, and it perfectly matches the power and the leadership that Mayor Howorth has brought to the city and to the beach cities and all of the South Bay. And, you know, I've only worked with you for about a year now, but I will say it's been an honor at every single event, being able to see a mayor that brings 110% of herself, whether it's, you know, a state of the city or a smaller ribbon cutting. It's hard to find leaders that really care about every single event and care about the people that are there. And I want you to know that that does not go unnoticed. And also, on behalf of the Assembly member, for those of you who don't know, Mayor Howorth was the Woman of the Year for us in 2018. So that shows that she's been doing this for an amazing time, but she's already had such an amazing track record, starting from school board member and being a PTSA vice president and a legislative representative for your son's schools, to working for increased access for young women in the sciences, passing $1 million bonds for better classrooms and buildings for students, championing, you know, Manhattan Beach Skate Park, the pier railing replacement, so many amazing things that have been bringing such wonderful things to the city. And I know that you're just going to continue to make this place a better place. So I am not going to show my certificate because it's not as amazing. But I think it just shows that you have so many certificates and a lot of people that really, really care about you. And congratulations again. I'm going to make another one now.
Great. So, thanks.
Do you want to say your full name for the...
Oh, yes. Oh, my name's Chloe Tachibana, field representative for Assembly Member Amoritsuchi. Please feel free to reach out. We're right over in Torrance. Nice meeting you all.
Great. Are there any other dignitaries in the chamber? Thank you.
All right. Let's stop now.
Madam City Clerk, are there any dignitaries on Zoom?
No request on Zoom.
Okay. Which case, this is the opportunity, if you care to, Mayor Howorth, to make a few remarks.
Why, thank you. It says here that I get up to 10 minutes, Steve. I get up to 10 minutes to make a speech. No, no way, no way. Well, gosh. Thank you all. Thank you to my colleagues for your heartfelt words. And thank you to the different people, the dignitaries who spoke. Yeah, it was very nice. I'm kind of almost at a loss for words, almost. And I am especially gratified that, you know, I do have a bit of a shtick with the color pink, right? And I do like to make jokes, but hopefully not at other people's expense. And I'm glad that people see it for what it is. It really, I do find so much joy in being given this privilege of serving. And I was raised to believe that there's no reason that we can't smile when we're doing hard work, and that the more you do, the easier it becomes. And sometimes it's hard to find humor in situations, right? And especially when people are going through something hard, and there's a time and a place, even I know that. But I want everyone to know that that's where it comes from, and I'm pretty sure you all do recognize that now. And that it feels good that I get to be myself while I serve. So thank you for that, that privilege. Being mayor, we all take turns, right? This is a better trophy than Little League, by the way. It's taller, but it is this thing that we all do, right? We all get to take a turn. And I think that's very, I know Hermosa does it and some other communities do it, but I love that about us. I love that about us because everybody gets to bring their own special passions to it, their own personality, their own style, and it keeps it from being too overtly political. You can't really have an agenda when you have 9 months, right? 9.5 months. You can't, try to change the city in 9.5 months, and that's a good thing. But what you can do is you can understand the role. You can set up a good agenda. You can try your best to run a good meeting. And I appreciate your comments, Councilmember Shirlene, because, I still have a lot to learn. And it is really actually hard to run a meeting, right, Councilmember? It's really hard. And we've got all this technology, and you've got to kind of keep doing this and keep doing that. But it's important because it shows the community that we care. We're professionals up here. We believe in civility. We believe that what you're saying is important, even if we don't agree with you, even if you're really mad at us, and even if you're, who is it, Chad, and who are those guys on Instagram? Sort of. But how we conduct ourselves up here matters, and that's what all I cared about when I became mayor this time was to really lean into that, to lead with civility, and to make sure everybody on our council was heard, and I think that we have all contributed, and all the voices have made it better. I want to call out, there's some former mayors here. That's another great thing about doing it this way, is that the former mayors, if they're in town, if it's not during summer and they're out in Mammoth or wherever, they're here. So we have, and there'll be a time when we take a picture at the end, but we have former Mayor Hildy Stern, wave. We have a former mayor named Steve Napolitano, wearing pink. Former Mayor Richard Montgomery. Former Mayor Mitch Ward. And I took off my glasses, as you can tell. So if I'm missing somebody, please let me know. But I think that's it. Is there any mayor on Zoom? No. Okay. So it's great because we have these folks here who remind us of what happened in the past, decisions they made. And those are why we're sitting up here today, because of some of the decisions they made, the good ones, and the bad ones, though, and the ones that they all tried. We all try our best, right? We all want the best for the city. So, I'm really proud of some things we accomplished this year. It's super, super proud and exciting that we voted to purchase the U.S. Bank lot. That is a really transformational thing for our community, and I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of our response to the fires. I'm proud of the Art and Public Places Committee that has been going on for a long time, and finally this year received over 100 submissions. It's going to knock your socks off. I'm proud of what we did for Juneteenth. I'm proud of how our new council members have joined, and we've formed a team. That's what I care about, is building capacity within the city council and also city staff, because let's not forget we have a new city manager that our prior council hired after extensive internal and external searching, and we've had new department heads, and it's a time of rebuilding, and that means rebuilding a team. That means building each other up to do the best for all of you, and it's been really exciting. I think everybody has brought their best selves to that. So I'm just excited. I wasn't going to say that much, but y'all got me, I don't know, y'all got to me. But I will say this. I'm excited. I'm excited to not be mayor. And I'll tell you why. I mean, you don't believe me, do you, Steve? I can see you. You don't believe me. I know it. I know it. My brother knows me well. No, it's a lot more than it used to be. I think people these days of all the different kinds of social media and all the people reach out a lot more. And as mayor, it's a figurehead for people. They know, oh, we got to talk to the mayor, talk to the mayor. We're mad, we got to talk to the mayor instead of talking to staff. Like, anyway, so have at it, buddy. So before I go into the selection of hopefully Mayor Lesser, hopefully all goes as planned, I leave knowing I did my best and I think did a good job. There's things I would want to do differently, and that's how it should be. But I'm so thrilled that you are going to be mayor, because Mayor Pro Tem, for another moment, Lesser, and I have worked together the longest. We've always run together and served together. And we are very different in our approaches and what we bring to this, but I respect you so much, and this man has more integrity than almost anyone I know. And so it's such a joy to say, okay, I can move on down. Wait, I'm going over there? Yeah. I'm going over there where there's more real estate. And David's going to get the gavel, because we're going to be just fine. So thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me this privilege, and I hope I've made it a little better than it was 9 months ago. And let's get on to the next person, shall we? All right. One last time. All right. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Okay, so now, council, we need to select a new mayor. So do I have any nominations? Yeah. We need a nomination?
All right, we're almost done.
Please, God.
Oh.
Councilmember Franklin.
Okay, so I make a motion to nominate David Lesser as our new mayor.
And that has been seconded by Councilmember Sherillian. Okay, let's call, any discussion? Okay, let's call for the question.
Should I abstain? Well, maybe I should push no after hearing what.
Motion passes 4-0-1.
We have a script here. So it says I am supposed to ask if there's any dignitaries in the audience to recognize incoming Mayor Lesser.
I haven't done anything yet, though.
It's kind of weird, right? Like, what are you going to say? Good luck? Don't mess up? No. Okay, are we good? Okay. And we do, though, have a SCAD of certificates up there. So shall I read off the names of the... Are you good with that?
I am.
It's hard to, yeah, okay. So, there's one more thing. I think we do have a message on Zoom, or a video message. There she is again.
It's officially my honor to welcome David Lesser as our new mayor onto Manhattan Beaches Council. Over the past 7 months, I've had the privilege of working with David and have come to really appreciate his depth of knowledge, particularly strong command of the law, policy, and our city processes. David's thoughtful approach to governance and his ability to navigate complex issues with clarity and purpose will have a strong impact on our council. As mayor, David brings not only his expertise, but his steady hand and a clear commitment to serving our community. I welcome his leadership and guidance. I know he will undoubtedly help us rise to any challenges and seize opportunities that come our way. As a fellow council member, I'm here to collaborate and be a partner, someone who truly is dedicated to serving our residents and moving our city forward. I look forward to working side by side with you, David, and I'm confident that under your leadership, our city will continue to thrive. Congratulations, David, and thank you for your commitment to serving our community. I'm proud to work alongside you and be a partner in helping our community. Thank you.
It's so nice.
Super nice.
So cool. Okay, and with that.
May I make a comment?
Yeah, you may.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right, because we're
Uh-oh.
not doing, wait.
This is off script.
It's off script.
We're going off script. Well, it's on the agenda. So, David, yes. So, David, I just wanted to thank you for your leadership, your skills, and the thoroughness, looking at looking at an issue or a problem in so many different ways. And I remember, I can't remember if I had just been elected in 2020 or I was running, and we went to breakfast. And so it was very kind of you to give me your time. And you said it's very important, you may agree to disagree, but as long as you build a bridge towards consensus. And I always remember that. And I try to be say this 3 times fast, a bridge builder as well. So that was very good advice. And also serving with you on the council here for, let me see, so it's been 2 years, right? It's been a pleasure. And we go back to various times when I was engaged with the city and you were there on council or in various commission roles and things like that. So thank you so much for not only putting in the time, but putting in the consideration and you working at building a better bridge. So congratulations.
My turn in the spotlight.
Yeah.
No, again, I haven't done anything yet.
No, I'll keep it really short. How lucky am I? I got to serve my first term right next to you, and just your encouraging words and your mentorship and the ability to, your veteran leadership to get things done, not just to get things done, but to bring us to a consensus and to move things along. A lot of times during the meetings, like, let me summarize this. Let me bring it back. You guys are way over here. Bring us back to the center. And just to move it along, we have some huge projects in the next 9 months that are going to define the next generations to the community in downtown with 400 MBB, Lot 3. We have some big decisions to make. And I couldn't be prouder to have you as mayor to help guide, navigate us through that. So congratulations on your 3rd term as mayor.
Okay, and now I want to hand the gavel, pass the gavel over to you, sir. You don't have to take it.
What do you mean? I love this. This has to do with our community, and it's an honor to receive the gavel from you, Madam Mayor. However, there is this other one here.
It's up to you.
So remind me, how does this work? You tap it this way?
See? You got this. Stand for a picture.
We're being asked to stand with a picture, handing over the ceremony?
With the
Sure.
gavel? Okay, well, okay. All right. Act like, okay.
You don't want to hit me?
Okay, all right. So pretend like this is all happening, but we're all up here looking at you.
Closer. Like each other.
He doesn't want you to miss.
There you go. All right, thank you. All right. We laugh, but it's wonderful to have a photograph of the moment. There you go.
So a few remarks. To my colleagues, the automatic rotation of our mayor is a custom, but it's not presumed. But I want to thank you for your faith in me to not mess it up, right? To the community, thank you for this privilege to serve. I am so grateful for this opportunity to give back. To the city staff, you are the ones that do the heavy lift. You are there day after day serving our community. Thank you. Thank you for your service. To my wife, Elizabeth, my daughter, Megan, my son, Matthew, who's working on a deadline and is not here. thank you for your patience with my dedication to public service. This is an interesting time to be in local government. On the one hand, our state of our city is strong. Our AAA creditworthiness was just reaffirmed by Standards & Poor's. The Los Angeles County Assessors just recently released its rolls for what the value is of property. Over the last fiscal year, the value of our property in Manhattan Beach rose 5.3% to, and I'm going to read this, to $27.61 billion. So on the one hand, everything is going well. But there is a growing uncertainty for cities like ours because of what's happening nationally and wondering how is that going to impact us here. Rising tariffs, rising fiscal deficits, changing in how environmental law, immigration law is being implemented, and challenges for businesses in planning and the inevitable impact on our job market. Meanwhile, the tone of political debate continues to slide. So how do we navigate these waters, particularly when we are way down the chain? I start with what was mentioned by former Mayor Howorth as civility and confronting our challenges head on. Our current council and the one that immediately preceded chose to engage directly in dialogue on our most challenging issues, which included financial issues and going out to the public for reassurance, and inviting the public to participate. We do not always agree. But those disagreements, I think, make us stronger. They provide for better decision-making and allow for our community's different viewpoints to be registered. So what is our goal? What is our aim? It's to be a good, effective government. One that welcomes different points of views, discusses an issue, attempts to find consensus, but then votes and moves on. It's not personal. It's serving our community. This is kind of corny stuff. It's basic, right? But when all of us look at what's happening in our government today, I think it's worth it to take a moment to just pause and remind ourselves not only on what we propose to do, but how we're serving our communities. So what is it that I propose that we prioritize over the coming 9.5 months of my mayoralship? I propose that we build on what this council has already identified as its priorities, and we start by advocating for our residents. Top of the list is housing. We are committed as a city to honor our obligation to, the express word is accommodate our fair share of new housing. But the new laws that have been affected over the last 7 years take away our discretion, take away public input on the scale of new housing units that are being built. And large multi-tenant residential projects are coming. What I commit to the residents is I will continue to advocate for a change in the law. We've had meetings with our state legislatures, and those meetings will continue. But we need to be real here. Majorities of both parties have supported the laws that are currently in place in response to our current housing crisis. I commit in the months ahead to continue our work on crime prevention. We commit to working with our chief and our city manager to understand what the challenges are of our police department and ensure our police have the resources they need to keep us safe. I also commit to working to support our volunteer neighborhood watch program, which is intended to supplement the police and reach out to other residents to identify how they can help keep our communities safe. I'm proud to have proposed and have had full council support for adding sworn police officers into service. I look forward to working with my council colleagues. Fiscal responsibility. There are understandable questions in our community about the rising cost of our public service. But we as a council have to balance that with our community's high expectation of services. I have a record of being fiscally responsible. I look forward to working with my council colleagues to ensure that those tenets continue. High service, but being responsible about how our funds are spent. We also need to invest in our community. As has been mentioned, some of the biggest decisions we've made over the last 6 months involve, one, our parking structure downtown, which had to be demolished. We have to decide what we're going to do with it, but we also purchased 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard. We have to make a decision now on how that parcel is to be developed and used. These are public discussions. We welcome input. In fact, in 3 weeks from tonight, there's going to be a study session for the public in this council session, chambers on August 26th to talk about what our options are and to begin those discussions about what comes next and how we pay for it. In terms of investing in our future, we also need to be mindful of the environment as well as disaster preparedness. We are a coastal city directly at risk of climate change. Federal laws may be rolled back, but that doesn't mean that that risk is going away. I commit in the coming months to continue communications with residents and businesses and council colleagues on what additional steps we need to take to protect our city. I also commit to implement what this council has approved, which is our city's climate action and adaptation plan. And finally, I want to work with our MB CERT members, who are a group of volunteers working to protect our city and make all of us safer in the event of the inevitable disaster, which is an earthquake. They have a program called Map Your Neighborhood, which allows communities to work on a neighborhood basis on what they do after a disaster falls. Finally, I want to build on our city's partnerships, our schools and our businesses. Many come to our community for its beautiful beaches and its ocean, but what keeps them here are our schools and our businesses. They provide the vitality to our community and help support our neighborhoods. I look forward to discussing with my council and colleagues, as well as the community, how we can continue to partner with them. That's a long list already. I could go on, but I simply want to leave it that I look forward to working through the issues that we are facing together. Thank you for this opportunity to serve. Thank you all. So now, just looking at my script from the city clerk so I know what to do, we move on to the selection of the Mayor Pro Tem. I would like to make a nomination, if I may.
Too late.
Too late?
Here you go. Go ahead.
No.
Well done.
Go
Now
for
make
it.
it then.
I'd like to make a motion
Go
to
ahead.
nominate our Councilmember Joe Franklin as our Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay.
I see that it's been seconded by Councilmember Sharulian. May we have a vote, please?
It's really hard for me not to say that.
Motion passes 401.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Franklin, would you like to make any comments?
Sure. What he said. Now, actually, I look forward to serving with you. I look forward to serving the residents and businesses and schools of Manhattan Beach. We come together to be a stronger community. We've had a lot of challenges. Think about that. I campaigned in 2020 during COVID, right? We were all locked up and locked in, and still we, kind of went out in the neighborhood very carefully and talked to people at a safe distance to spread the ideas. Look at the effects today of what the COVID challenge created for us. The whole idea of the topsy-turvy return to work. I mean, this is one of the reasons why there's properties that are available to turn into turn into housing from office buildings. Who would have thought about that, just a short time ago? So I agree with you, Mayor Lesser. There's going to be a lot of challenges. I will sit on your right.
Right.
You can think of me as your right-hand person, and along with my other colleagues, and helping you reach these goals that you set out so clearly. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Frank. Okay, my announcements are, at this time, the council assignments will be on the, at this time, actually, it should say that the council assignments will be on the August 19, 2025 City Council agenda when Councilmember Tarnay is here. At this time, we'll take a 15-minute recess with refreshments in the lobby, and I would ask that all former mayors please stay for a group photo. We stand in recess. Oh, wait.
Oh. Wow, so much more power in the finger. One last time.
Pegasus, can we go live?
There they are. I'd like to call back to order the August 5th, 2025 City Council member, moving on with our agenda. We now move on to the consent calendar. Is there a motion on the consent calendar? Motion by Councilmember Howorth, and the motion is, I assume, to accept the consent calendar as is.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
In which case, is there a second? Oh, okay. May we please have a vote?
Motion passes 401.
Very good. Next, we move on to public hearings. There are no public hearings. Then we move on to M, general business, in which case it's item number 11, and I'll read the title. It's consideration of a resolution approving the issuance of not to exceed 13.4 million certificates of participation, Series 2025A, to reimburse the general fund balance for the purchase of 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard, and not to exceed $3.8 million certificates of participation, Series 2025B, to reimburse the city's general fund for the purchase of public safety radio communications equipment, etc. Please, Libby, welcome.
All right. Good evening, Honorable Mayor Lesser and Mayor Pro Tem Franklin and council members. My name is Libby Bretthauer, your Finance Director, and I am pleased to present this item that includes financing plans for the issuance of the Certificates of Participation, or COPs, as we'll say, to reimburse our general fund balance for the land acquisition of 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard and public safety radios. So I will just briefly go through some background information and an overview of these two major recent purchases, and then I'll be turning it over to Larry Lom from K&N Public Finance for some details on the financing plans. K&N Public Finance has served as our municipal advisor for many years, and also in attendance tonight is Kevin Savali from Stradling, Yoka, Carlson, and Routh, who serves as the city's bond counsel. So as background, we are here to discuss the consideration of issuing the COPs for these two purchases, and which we'll be referring to as Series A and Series B, respectively, for the 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard and the public safety radios. These purchases first came before City Council on April 1st and June 17th. And included in those staff reports were resolutions of intention stating the city's plan to issue tax-exempt financing and replenish our general fund balance, and then therefore we would be spreading these costs out over time. So as was mentioned earlier, in conjunction with issuing new debt, the city did go through a process recently to have our credit rating reevaluated by Standard & Poor's, and we are pleased to announce that we were able to announce the great news last week that S&P did affirm our city's overall issuer credit rating as AAA, and they also affirmed our pension obligation bonds as AAA, and also our existing and these proposed COPs as AA+, which is the highest possible rating for COPs. And City Manager Mirzakanian and myself presented to S&P on behalf of the city, and we were pleased to have the city's financial management practices recognized once again. And additionally, these high credit ratings help the city with overall lower borrowing costs. So we'll get into some financing details in a moment regarding 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard, but I first wanted to share this rough timeline for the project development. So we've been working with our community development team and our engineering team, and together we think this is a pretty reasonable timeline to be able to move from a vision to actual construction in the next 3 years. So we'll just kind of move from left to right, and over the next year, we hope to establish a vision for 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard, and we would hope to bring it into focus through a community engagement process that we are calling Project Pulse, and through that, a narrowing down of potential options for the project site. So we had an initial community meeting in May, and as the mayor mentioned earlier, there will now be a study session on August 26th here in the council chambers and on Zoom. So in this first year, we do expect and hope for a lot of community engagement, And we would hope that the vision would then turn into a more defined concept. And to stay on pace, we would likely need City Council approval of the concept in August 2026, so a year from now. So internally, we also plan to initiate a multi-department task force, similar to how we approached the Lot 3 demolition, so that way we can keep ourselves on track and act as quickly as possible. So with a concept and project scope approved, hopefully a year from now, we would then start working on developing designs and doing environmental reviews, entitlements, et cetera, which we would expect to take about 9 months. Which that would bring us into 2027, and there we would expect to start having real construction documents prepared and initial cost estimates for review by the Planning Commission and City Council. So if we can get City Council approval by December of 2027, then we can submit construction documents for plan check and have those more reliable cost estimates in hand to start discussing refinancing the COPs that we're issuing in the next month, as well as to talk about financing, the design costs, and future construction costs. Now, city staff will go into much more detail on this proposed timeline during the study session on August 26th, but I needed to bring it tonight because it is relevant to our conversation regarding the potential refinancing in 2028. And the importance of this timeline will be even more clear in a moment as we get into the financing details. So just a few more kind of background and overview on the 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard financing. So we are anticipating issuing bonds and having our general fund reimbursed for $13 million that we spent to acquire the land, and it would also go to pay for the cost of issuance of the COPs. So working internally, we have estimated that we would need about $2 million over the next 3 years to spend on consultants and environmental reviews, initial design, et cetera. So the fiscal 26 budget currently includes a total budget of $1 million already in the CIP fund that would go to pay for demolition of the existing structure as well as initial design and consultant studies. At this time, we think the other $1 million can wait until we will factor it into next year's budget and CIP. The current year budget did also include a placeholder appropriation for debt service of about $627,000. However, based on more recent estimates by K&N, debt service is now expected to be about $536,000. So we had taken the higher estimate as we were preparing the budget, so we do expect to come in lower. Now moving on to the more simple transaction of the public safety radio financing. So again, just some background information. We last purchased this radio equipment in 2018. The radios have an average useful life of about 7 years, so we're right on time to need to replace these critical communications equipment. We will be replacing about 300 radios for our police and fire departments. And the bond proceeds will be reimbursing the general fund for the purchase and, again, the cost of issuance. So the way we're structuring this financing, these COPs would mature in 7 years. However, there'll be 6 principal payments over the next, over the next time period, and the first debt service payment would be budgeted in next year's general fund budget. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Larry Lom to go into some further details on the financing structures.
Mayor Lesser, good evening. Mayor Pro Tem Franklin, council members. My name is Larry Lom, I'm municipal advisor to the city of Manhattan Beach. Been serving as the city's municipal advisor now for 10 years, but this is the first time I've had the opportunity to present to you in person, so it's exciting. But today we're talking about the COPs, the 2025As and the 2025Bs. As mentioned, the 25As will refinance the acquisition purchase, and the 25Bs will reimburse for the public radios. We're designating the 25As as term rate mode COPs, and we're designating the 25Bs just as fixed rate COPs. Basically term rate means it's going to be a fixed rate for a certain period or term. The fixed rate COPs for the Bs will be a fixed rate for the life of those COPs. And we're going to get into those details momentarily. Okay, so we'll spend some time here to provide some context on the 25A series. So there's two main objectives with this financing. One, to reimburse the city's general fund. You have an 18-month time frame from the reimbursement resolution. The city would like to reimburse the general fund as soon as possible. That's consistent with helping replenish your reserves, building a strong base, and that's consistent with that AAA rating. The funds will also start to earn interest immediately. So those are all, that's a good plan for that reimbursement. It does create this uncertainty, though, because, as mentioned, the project, we don't know what the project use will ultimately be. So we need to have some flexibility with respect to the financing. And the second objective, therefore, is to provide maximum flexibility for the ultimate use and tax status of the acquired property. So, typically we would look at long-term fixed-rate bonds. They come with a 10-year call provision. Now, we have this 3-year time horizon. So to have a 3-year call option to refinance those in 3 years would be costly. To have a 10-year call come down to a 3-year call, you're asking a lot of the market, and that comes at a cost. Other short-term financings that have kind of an early prepayment structure do not conform to the concept of fair market value, and that's a legal construct with respect to the lease nature of the COPs. The COPs are a lease repayment from the general fund. So that really gives us the option of what we're calling a put bond. And what is a put bond? So a put bond is basically a bond where the city is telling the market that in a certain term it will purchase those bonds back from the market. And again, we're coming back to this 3-year term to coincide with the 3-year planning process that the city has for 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard. So in 3 years, our target date for the put would be July 1st, 2028. And the way the put bond structure works is at that time, the city would refinance those bonds into long-term fixed-rate bonds, basically permanent financing for the project. These are called soft puts, meaning if the city is not in the position to make that refinance at that date and time, it would step up to a coupon rate of 6% for 89 days. If still nothing has happened beyond 89 days, the coupon would step up again to 8%. And that's just a penalty, effectively, that the city is taking on with the put structure. The city has every intention to refinance these in that 3-year time period, and as early as July 1, 2028, it can initiate that refinancing into long-term fixed-rate COPs. Now, if we're coming to July 1, 2028, and there is some additional time that might be needed for planning, the city can roll over these put bonds into another term period. So you could, in theory, avoid those penalty step-up coupons. So that is the, at a high level, the put bond structure, and it's different from your typical, simple, long-term traditional COP, long-term debt, 30-year debt. So this slide will talk about just kind of the repayment structure of the bonds for the Series A. Again, these are the put bonds. Fixed rate, tax exempt, semi-annual interest payments beginning January 1, 2026. Again, January 1st, 2028 is the first opportunity the city will have to refinance these. And then July 1, 2028 is the soft put date. Again, that is the time frame and the target date that we're targeting to refinance these into long-term fixed rate bonds. And so up until July 1, 2028, we'll have that 3-year period will be interest only, and the first principal amortization will be that July 1, 2028 date. And to the right on the slide, you can see the sources and uses of the financing. Again, there'll be a borrowing amount approximately of $12.7 million. The way bonds are priced in the current market, there's this premium that's generated together that provides a total source, which will be used to reimburse the city as well as pay for costs of issuance. Okay, for this slide, we have a preliminary schedule of what debt service could look like. At the top of that table to the left, you'll see debt service payments for those first 3 years. That again, interest only with the first principal payment in 2028. Again, if the city decided, if the city did not refinance these put bonds by 2028 of July 1st, the coupon could step up to 6% and then 8%. And that kind of illustrates to the right that kind of coupon penalty in that bar graph to the adjacent to the table. So again, in theory, the plan is to refinance these by July 1st, 2028, avoid that penalty, or remarket and roll these into another term period, if needed. So moving on to the 2025B COPs, these are simple, traditional COP fixed rate bonds, fixed rate tax exempt, semi-annual interest beginning in July 1, 2027, so the next budget year cycle. Again, a 7-year term with principal payments, 6 principal payments in 2027 through 2032. And this will be structured with level debt service. To the right, sources and uses, total financing of about $3 million. Will help reimburse the city for the radio equipment and pay cost of issuance. Okay. Preliminary debt service schedule of this financing. Again, a level structure, approximately $690 annually for debt service repayment. So this slide shows you kind of the projection of what the city's debt profile would look like following these two financings. It's a conservative structure. A lot of their bonds are amortizing, within 10 years. I'd probably say 50% are amortizing within 10 years, and the majority within 15. And then this overall descending structure, which is, again, conservative and very viewed very favorably in the eyes of the credit agencies. So after the financing, the city will have a total estimated par amount of $112 million in total bonds. Okay. Financing schedule. Today we're here seeking approval for this financing. Assuming we receive your approval, we'll post a preliminary official statement tomorrow morning to the market that will begin the marketing period of these COPs. And then next week, we'll price the COPs, at which time we'll fix out the rates and lock in your financing. 2 weeks from then, on August 27th, the financing will close and the city will be in receipt of funds. Okay. With that, I'll hand it back to Libby.
Thank you, Larry. So to wrap up, we do recommend that the City Council adopt Resolution 250103, which authorizes the issuance of the 2025 Series A and Series B COPs, as well as approving all of the related documents that are attached, which includes 2 trust agreements, a site and facilities lease, a lease agreement, contract of purchase, the preliminary official statement, as well as the continuing disclosure certificate. And then in a moment, we're going to be breaking and reconvening as the CIC. And when that happens, we do recommend that the CIC Board of Directors adopts related resolution number CIC 14, which also authorizes the issuance of the COPs and approves the related documents, including one more document there that's called the assignment agreement that is related to the CIC. So with that, we are happy to answer any questions, either for myself, or Larry, or again, our bond counsel is also here in attendance.
Thank you, Libby. Council, any questions? Councilmember Sherwood.
Thank you, Mayor Lesser. I think that's the first new mayor. And Libby, quick question on slide 6. For the 400 MBB financing, second bullet. So for the budget that we just adopted, so you're saying that the estimates were $2 million initial for the entitlement and the conceptual design, but it's really only $1 million?
So when the budget was adopted in June, At that time, we had estimated for the demolition of the building, which was, I think, $216,000. And then through the budget process, we put in kind of a placeholder amount, but at that point, we really didn't have any concrete cost estimates. So with the budget adoption, we landed on $1 million dedicated to the 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard project. And then we do have money that we put into that reserve, as was discussed. And then since then, staff has worked internally, looked at similar projects with similar scope, and then came up with a new estimate of about $2 million over the next 3 years. So, and there is a breakdown in the staff report of what some of those costs will likely be, including schematic designs, environmental review, design development, the conceptual designs, the actual construction documents will likely cost $550,000, some bidding and construction administration, and then some contingency money in there to kind of round it up to an even $2 million.
Gotcha. I just wanted to understand that we didn't go from an estimated $2 million to $1 million. It's kind of what I guess my ears heard. So, but thank you for that, and congratulations on reaffirming the city's AAA. It's a big thing. So I got a question for Larry. Give him some more mic time, some camera time. And again, thank you for all the work of KNN, you and Mark, as well as Kevin's group. This is a big deal to have your caliber of a group, looking over our shoulders and making sure we're doing things right. Just a couple of quick questions. Are put bonds common for municipalities because of the risk?
They are common, but typically used for enterprise revenue credits. So think like SCAPA, for example. They actually issued one earlier this year.
Got you. And then, so there's, outside of the penalties issued if you don't do it by a certain date, there's no early redemption risk? Or?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Is there any there's no early redemption risk, you just get the penalty for?
Yeah, in theory, if you did nothing, take no action, you would have that 8% coupon.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? I have one. Can we pull up slide 5? I have a question about the timeline. Just knowing a little bit how government works thoughtfully and deliberatively, I'm concerned whether 3 years is really enough time. And I wanted, I guess, to have you point out where you're most concerned that we might slip in meeting a 2028 deadline.
Certainly, and feel free to jump in if you would like here.
So at the August 26th meeting, you will see a much more detailed outline of that first year and all the community engagement opportunities that we have programmed between today and August of 2026. That's one place where we hope 1 year is definitely a good amount of time to obtain community input, and it gives us enough time to come back to the council on multiple occasions. So we hope that we've built in enough time there to get at least conceptual approval. Of course, there's always the possibility that if we can't agree on a concept, then there's a potential of delay there. And on the design front, we'll have some more control over the design between August 2026 and March 2027. And from there, we'll move into that design development, that's the entitlement processes. That, I think, definitely we can stick to that timeline. But the construction documents, sometimes there's delays there because those are in the hands of consultants. But we will be vetting those consultants on our own as the city and selecting the most responsible bidder at that time.
Great. Thank you. Another question, and that would be for you, Libby, or for our financial consultants, and that is, this is structured as a lease agreement, which we've used for other funding vehicles. Can you briefly summarize that? Wasn't quite captured in the staff report.
Oh, certainly, and you might defer to our bond counsel for that answer.
So basically, for cities to borrow money over long term, you have to go for a vote of the people if you use your borrowing powers. But, and as a result of that, in California, cities and counties, and actually the state of California uses a lease-back structure. So you actually are using your lease powers to do it. So the city owns property, leases it to the corporation for a nominal rent. The corporation leases it back to the city, and that lease payment is equal to the debt service on the COPs. It's a fiction, but it's a legally required fiction in order to accomplish the borrowing needs. And there are literally billions and billions and billions of dollars of lease revenue bonds by virtually every city, every county, and as I mentioned, the state.
And this is a structure our city has used for our
use
at-laws
for every single transaction you've done.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Franklin.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Lesser. I'm not sure if I missed it, but where is projected revenue over the course of this time in terms of assuming we're going to be building a temporary parking lot there and the like?
We have, I think the slide is still up, that we are still in the infancy stages of deciding what could be built there. So at this time, we don't even have a settled concept that's been approved of what would actually be built there.
Is there some scenarios? I mean, probably we're going to be looking at possibly three different scenarios. What they are, we don't know yet, but I'm just a little concerned to see that are we going to have enough money without drawing on reserves to pay these obligations?
Well, I think we'll be getting into that more on the next meetings, like on August 26th, where we will start to discuss potential uses of the site. And with that, we would also discuss any revenue-generating opportunities as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Good. Councilmember Sherwood.
Thank you, Mayor. Second bite at the apple, very quickly. And yeah, this is a good, very preliminary project timeline. I totally understand. And I know there's work to be done coming back to the special study session. But I have a different concern, I think, which is I feel like this is a long period of time between like 3 years to, get the construction documents going. So I was here when Metlocks was built, as well as police and fire, and I'd like to look back at those successes and see how things moved pretty expediently through the process, whereas this has taken three years before the construction documents would be submitted. So I guess I would, that's more of a comment, like I would like to see our past successes, if we, how we got those things through. But 3 years to me is a long time to just start doing construction.
And I think something else that was in discussion was there was concern about starting construction before the Olympics occurring in the summer of 2028. So I believe that was also kind of part of our timeline for possibly starting construction after that.
Got you. But if we can look at past successes and see like how long those things took,
yeah,
so we can see like what we're dealing with, because I just feel like, big CIP projects take a longer period, are taking longer and longer. And our mayor just indicated, like, is this enough time? Where can we expedite? I'm looking at this. This is a lifetime. It's 3 years. So, okay, thanks.
Very good. Any more council questions?
I'll hold mine. I have more comments, so
Good.
I'll wait.
Great. In which case, I'll open it up for public comment for anyone in the chamber. Would anyone like to speak on this item who's here in the chamber? Seeing none. Martha, is anybody on Zoom?
No request on Zoom.
In which case, I'll close public comment. Council. Councilmember Howorth. Haven't used that
So
term.
good. Well, I've made a motion, and I believe we're only, the motion would be to adopt resolution number 25-0103. So we're only doing the one, and then we have to go into a corporation, correct? But I wanted to say a few comments first. I think we need to understand that when the mayor, so fun, asked the question about where are the potential holdups in this 3-year timeline? I think you're trying to be diplomatic, but I think that this body here, right?
Exactly.
And with Councilwoman Tarnay, where are the potential for the holdup? And with a year of community input, that also includes coming to us, right? And putting input and looking at that input and thinking about how we, want to make that decision. It's really hard to make those decisions because they're big buildings. They have impact for a long time to come, but I would implore us to be our best selves and ask the questions and be tough, but to really be able to come to a decision because I think that's going to be the thing that is hard or will hold things up. And there's a financial incentive, obviously. And then, of course, we want to get this going for the community. So we're the potential roadblock. The other thing I just wanted to point out, what bond counsel, Mr. Savali, was talking about, the lease back fiction, if you will. I believe it's our reservoir that we're using as the asset, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I am not a finance person, not at all, but it kind of shows me that when we do build things, like when we build whatever we're going to build here, right? When we build something like the reservoir, the new fire station, that's not just a cost. Obviously, there's a program benefit for the community. It's not just a cost, it's an asset. The reason we have such a high bond rating is partly due to our assets. So you see what I mean? When we build a great facility here, that whether it's parking or other community, it becomes an asset on our balance sheet. So that's something to keep in mind. So there's been a lot of work done. We have the best bond counsel in the business. We have the best team out there, as Councilmember Shirley brought up. So I say let's approve this and get going on this important project.
See that it's been seconded by Councilmember Sherillian. Are there any other comments? I think for me, I have some caution, not just because of our council, but because we need to fully engage with our community. We went ahead and bought this property before we had public input. I also have some concerns about the larger global market and where it's going to be in 3 years. But I think we have flexibility with this instrument. I think this is the smart instrument to purchase where we really don't know what we're going to be building on this parcel. So I will be in support of this item. Any further council comments? If not, call for the question.
Motion passes 401.
Thank you. Now, speaking of the legal fiction, there is a script I need to read so that we can adjourn this meeting, or recess this meeting. Let me get this script out.
Green one. Mine's green.
So I will announce a recess of the regular City Council meeting of August 5, 2025, and convene the Capital Improvements Corporation meeting. The president is still the former mayor, our council colleague, Councilwoman Howorth. She is the president, so I'll defer to her to take the meeting from here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Secretary of the Board, can we do a roll call?
Board Member Franklin?
Here.
Board Member Tarnay is absent. Board Member Sherillian?
Yes.
Vice President Lesser?
Here.
President Howorth?
Here. Now, I'd like to conduct public comments for the Capital Improvements Corporation. Are there any in chambers? How about on Zoom?
No request on Zoom.
Okay, no pre-recorded messages from afar? Okay. All right, we've conducted the public comments. At this time, I'd like to ask the Board of Directors to elect a new president. And we'll need to make a motion and a vote to nominate Mayor Lesser as president. So somebody. Yes?
Okay, I move that we vote and make Mayor Lesser
I know, it's really.
the president of the Capital Improvements Corporation.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's been seconded, by Councilmember Sherillian.
Sorry for that.
It's a little confuddling.
Motion passes 401.
Well, for my speech? No, I did that.
No more.
All right. I now, as president, ask the city council and board of directors to elect a new vice president. We will need to make a motion and vote to nominate Mayor Pro Tem Franklin as vice president. It's
So
already been
moved.
done with a motion by board member Howorth, seconded by board member Sherillian. Call for the question.
Boy, meetings are already moving faster.
Motion passes 401.
Okay, now we need to adopt a conflict of interest code for the Manhattan Beach Capital Improvements Corporation. I am to ask the Board of Directors to adopt resolution number CIC 13, agenda item number 13. See, there is a motion already by Board Member Howorth with a second by Board Member Sherillian. Without any further comment or questions, call for the question.
Motion passes 401.
Next, we need to adopt resolution number CIC 14 regarding 400 Manhattan Beach Boulevard. This is agenda item number 14. See a motion from Board Member Howorth with a second by Board Member Franklin. If there's any comment or question, call for the question.
Motion passes 401.
At this time, we will adjourn the Capital Improvements Corporation meeting and reconvene the regular city council meeting of August 5th, 2025. Go back to
Okay.
the agenda.
All right.
Okay, we now move on, our regular agenda item. Thank you. Thank you to our
Thank you, guys. Well done.
city council requests and reports, including AB 1234 reports. This is item P, and we'll move on to item 15. Are there any AB 1234 reports?
No, sir.
Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 16, consideration of a request by Councilmember Tarnay and me in my former role as Mayor Pro Tem to discuss the city's parking pad policy. I believe, Mr.
Third.
City Attorney, that we're just looking for a third vote. Is that correct?
Just got
And
it.
I've heard it
Right.
from Councilmember Sherillian. We now move on to future agenda items. Item number Q.
No, 17.
17, excuse me, how quickly I make mistakes. Excuse me. Item number 17 is consideration of request by former Mayor Howorth and Councilmember Tarnay to discuss the process for placing items on future city council agendas by council members. I'm willing to serve as the third vote.
Great.
Is there something we can get clarification on that? It's kind of a vague, what is
This is
that?
the
What does that
Sure,
mean?
I'm happy to read, because I
Yeah.
made the motion. So back in our day, when we were on before, we had a different process for getting something on an agenda. So there's this two-step process, and it can be a little clunky. So for instance, like, we have to, I think we state what we think we're saying, but we're not actually giving any clarification onto what it's really about. So there are other ways to do, there's a million different ways, not a million, there's several different ways to have a process for putting things on a future agenda. So we want to talk about all those different ways. So,
And just to add, I believe we want to explore ways that are consistent with the Brown Act, which is
Oh,
how we came
goodness
to explore
gracious.
this. So that's an assumption, and I bet that
Goodness
should be
gracious,
stated, of
yes.
course. Okay. Any other comment on this?
yeah, he's,
David. Mayor Lesser.
Any other comments or questions?
and if I could add clarification, it's not the intent also, and I think this is fair to say, but you can, if I'm saying too much, the intent is not to provide less opportunity to put things on future agendas. There's no way. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look forward to an update on what
Yeah.
the Brown Act provides, if there's been any recent case law. I think it's a reasonable request. Many members of the public are confused about our
Yeah.
process, and it's an opportunity to educate it.
Yeah.
Great.
I was when I came back, so.
Now we move on to item number Q, future agenda items. Does any council member have a future agenda item they propose?
You know, I've been,
Councilmember Truitt?
I believe this may be coming in a future agenda, but additional funding for the Roundhouse.
Yeah, I thought we did, didn't we?
That'll be coming back to the council tentatively on September 2nd.
Because you had made, I think you made the motion before, like at the end of one meeting, and
The
I
council
seconded
did
it.
already direct us to do that.
Oh, we
Yeah.
already went through the three-step process?
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is the fourth.
See that? No,
Wonderful.
but yeah, but it's coming when, did you say?
Tentatively September 2nd.
Okay, great.
Great.
Any other future agenda items? On to the city manager report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Lesser. First, I wanted to thank former Mayor Howorth for her wholehearted leadership over the last 9.5 months. You're a natural-born leader, and it's been an honor and a pleasure serving under your leadership. And I wanted to congratulate Mayor Lesser and Mayor Pro Tem Franklin on your respective appointments. I look forward to serving the city under your leadership, and I wish you a successful 9.5 months with hopefully no emergencies.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also wanted to just state that we had a successful 62nd annual Charlie Sakely 6-man and 6-woman volleyball tournament this weekend. We had 109 teams competing across all divisions on Friday and Saturday. We had 36 teams participating in the junior 6-man division on Sunday. And I want to send out a special thank you to Tournament Director Jay Sakely, as well as the Police, Fire, Public Works, and Park and Recreation departments for their support in ensuring a safe and successful event.
Great. Thank you.
That was a good one.
Mr. City Attorney, do you have a report?
Would you like me to say anything more than ditto?
What he said. Very good. I presume that that is it. Informational items are listed on the council agenda packet. No closed session, in which case we'll adjourn this meeting. Let me see if there's an adjournment announcement. There is. The meeting is adjourned to a closed session on Tuesday, August 19th, 2025 at 5 p.m. in the City Council chambers. We are adjourned.